All right, welcome into another edition of SJHL Weekly. I'm your host, Clark Munroe, here at the IKS Media Studios. Of course, the UPL playoffs are rolling on. The road to the Terriers Cup is heating up. We have games 1 and 2 from the start of the second round to talk about with you today. We'll get you ready for the week coming up and a whole lot more. Plus, we're going to be joined by star forward of the Yorkton Terriers, Jye Zawatsky, who had the game-winning goal in Game 1, and he had a big game in Game 2 as well in the loss. But it's still a great game. So we'll talk to him, get his thoughts on the series so far, and a whole lot more. Let's thank our sponsors to kick things off. We'll start with Canterra Seeds, Capital Auto Mall, Canalta Hotels, SGEU, Sask Lotteries, UPL, Chevrolet, Great Western Brewing Company, SaskTel, RBC, Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association, and Vaterstad. And before we get started, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as we always say, please hit the share button, hit the like button, comment in. We want to hear from you. Throughout the show, your comment might appear on the screen if you want to put it in on YouTube and Facebook specifically. Let's hear from you. Obviously it's a bit of a heavier Monday than we're used to. Let's bring in Jamie Neugebauer here if you guys don't mind. Of course, yes, we're excited because of the second round is underway. The first 2 games over the weekend on each series were fantastic. But of course, with it being April 6th today, it is the Humboldt Broncos bus crash anniversary, and there's a whole lot of feelings that come with that. I know that Jamie and I have been talking about this for a little while now, how we want to approach it, because I don't think we've done a show specifically on the day. It's always like the day before, day after type of thing. But Jamie, obviously today brings up a lot of feelings, and maybe I'll let you start it off with your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it on SJHL Insider last time out. Yeah, every day, or every April 6th since the day, kind of been weird vibes going on up in here. So I'm sure there's some out there that are similar. So as I always like to say, if you have sort of weird vibes for a day or a memory or something that's kind of traumatic for you, take advantage of that opportunity to look outside yourself, go help somebody else out, go check on somebody, tell them you love them, tell them you forgive them, things like that. Because you never know, you really don't know how much time you have on this earth. And the last thing I'll say is it's really, really awesome and speaks to the type of people and character we have in our league when you look at guys like Caleb Dahlgren, like Nick Shumlansky, like Ryan Strasnitsky I saw was hanging around the EPA there, etc. The list goes on. All of these young men that were on that bus crash who have used their voice for good, and there's the list, obviously, of those in yellow, rest in peace, and then the survivors, and we honor every single one of those there, and not just that, but we also think of their parents and their families. We think of the people that are in Humboldt as well that have had to kind of carry this for the last 8 years and will carry them forever. And I know, speaking to Rory, their old broadcaster, of course, just about talking about how to be respectful and honoring and whatnot, but also not let the memory of it kind of cripple you and hold you back and make you stuck. And that's always a difficult balance as well. But we honor them, we treasure them, we respect them. And go on Amazon right now, whatever, and get Crossroads, the book, Caleb Dahlgren's book. It's one of the best books I've ever read, one of the fastest books I've ever read. And you can go back and check out our interview with him as well. It's across SJHL social media. But thanks for the platform, Clark. And if you want to share how you're feeling in the comments about it or whatever, even where you were, when you heard about it, things like that, feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we always think about all the things that happened in that couple of weeks. The hockey world obviously got so behind it, and everybody really jumped on board. And that continues to this day. I mean, you still see a lot of NHL teams put up a post today, leagues put up posts today, and a lot of the players, of course, around any league, any age group, you usually see some sort of Humboldt thing. I still see baseball helmets with the Humboldt Strong stickers on them, on kids that weren't even probably alive that I'm coaching now in baseball training. And it's pretty special to see that everybody has the Humboldt Broncos in their hearts and always will, especially in this province. I don't think that's going away ever. So yeah, sticks are out. I've seen a lot of posts with the sticks
My parents still have their sticks in front, and they live in Thornhill, Ontario.
Right. So I've seen a lot of sticks out posts and a lot of people are doing whatever they can to remember. So this is our way of doing that, and hopefully you have a moment today to reflect and think about it. And like Nugsy said, I love what you said there, Nugsy. Do something positive with it. Turn this grief into some positive and see where it takes you and what you can do to help somebody else. So there you go. Now, there's no easy way at all ever to transition out of this conversation.
Well, I think all those fellows that are on the bus that are either survivors or even if they passed would want us to continue to love and enjoy.
They want to hear about game 1 and 2.
They want to know.
Yeah, they want to know about games 1 and 2. So from the weekend. So let's transition out of that into the weekend that was. Of course, games 1 and 2 went down Friday and Saturday night in both Flin Flon and Yorkton. Nugsy and I were at game 2 in Yorkton. I know Commissioner Kyle was up in Flin Flon for game 1. So it was a very great weekend. So let's look at it now. This is Friday's results. As you can see, something that hasn't been done all season long. A 2-0 shutout victory in regulation, of course, by the Weyburn Red Wings in game 1 over Flin Flon. A very statement-y way to kick off that series. And then Yorkton, they were down 2-0. They ended up winning 3-2 to take the season. So what am I trying to say? The series edge in game 1 at home in front of the home crowd. So what a way to kick that off. But the next night, both teams had revenge on their minds, and the Flin Flon Bombers really put if Weyburn put a statement out in game 1, Flin Flon returned the statement in game 2 with a 6-2 win. At home to go back to Weyburn now, series tied 1-1. And the Battlefords North Stars down 1-0 going into the third period. They had a comeback of their own, and they ended up winning 3-1 with 3 unanswered goals in the third period. 2 of them by Finley Klippenstein. He also had an assist on the third goal as well, with Josh Knittig also putting up 3 points. So what a great game. So let's start with the Flin Flon Weyburn series, Nugsy. Obviously game 1, we all kind of said like, oh boy. If a team was going to do it, Weyburn did it last year, where they went to the Whitney Forum and they won the first 2 games. So we're like, is history repeating itself? Luke Schrader, Callis Pierce with the goals.
No, it was Dion Schrader. I
messaged
Cody. I was like, got to get that changed fast.
Oh, yeah.
It was Dion. You can watch it right here. Munroe throws it off of him there, and it bounces off of Dion's leg. But it's a Schrader, so the Schrader family
it's a Schrader.
Got involved there.
Yeah. So anyways, a 37 save shutout by Joey Rocha. He was the UPL playoff performer of the night for game 1's Nugsy. And boy, what a great way to kick things off, huh?
Yeah, no question. And people messaged me after game 1, and fair enough. It's a 5v1 matchup, Weyburn being 5, and people said, what an upset. Oh, big surprise. Shocker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no shocker. There's no upset. I disagree with the premise.
Yeah.
Completely. It is not an upset. Weyburn and Flin Flon, if you ask me, are very evenly matched hockey teams. Again, Joey Rocha was terrific on the night. Obviously, you don't have a 37 save shutout without being terrific. That's the way it's going to be. That's simple. But, it was a terrific performance by Weyburn. I don't think they could have played better. And 37 saves for the road team, shots for the road team in Whitney Forum is like 20 somewhere else. So there you go. Just a 1-0 game. Charlie was outstanding as well.
Yeah, Charlie was great too.
For Flin Flon, yeah. And, again, the SaskTel goalie of the year got his award from Commissioner Kyle the next night when he was up there in the Flon. But, as we switch quickly here to game 2, the Bombers doing what they needed to do, Clark, as they always seem to do in the Mike Reagan era, and that's bounce back the right way from, frustrating, maybe other than the game round 2 last year. Yeah. They bounced back the right way. It was 3-0 before you could blink. Again, a few I'm sure that Joey Rocha would like back. Again, we've seen it so many times at the Whitney Forum. It can really feel like an avalanche is falling on you. The crowd was going nuts. I think, Rob Hart and his color guy in game 1 kept talking about, oh boy, is it quiet in here? And that's credit to the Weyburn Red Wings, but it was rocking for game 2. And the Bombers did a good job of jumping back on that. A couple of interesting roster notes too, Clark. We weren't sure when Ryder Muka would come back in, but he came back in, and Wyatt Stinton did not come back in. So Muka played these 2 games, and that's a big pickup, but obviously not having Wyatt Stinton is not ideal either for Flin Flon, so they can't seem to get fully healthy, but both teams are as healthy as they've been for a long time. That's not an excuse for either. Both teams did a very nice job on the special teams, but first time in the whole playoffs, Clark, the Weyburn Red Wings were able to score a power play goal on Flin Flon. First time Flin Flon has given up a power play goal against all playoffs. I think they were 14 for 14, something like that, coming into this one. Neither team, again, was able to really get much going on the special teams. Combined, they were 1 for 13. These two teams with outstanding power plays. And that really just speaks to how good they were penalty killing. We've seen how good Weyburn's been penalty killing lately. They did a wonderful, wonderful job in round 1 against Nipawin's power play as well. Really, really aggressive. And then we saw, again, Flin Flon just totally eliminate Estevan's power play, which, again, is a good one. And, you know, Rob Hart also said on the broadcast, which I thought was a really interesting, he said, well, you know, this Weyburn power play is clearly a much more, there's the goal, much more capable power play than the Estevan. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I really don't know about that. I think there's a lot of things about this Weyburn team that's quite good, obviously, and can win a championship this year. But I wouldn't say necessarily that their power play was a lot better than Estevan's. The Bombers just did a great job again, and they did a good job too. Just finally, Weyburn broke through, and in the middle of a game where you're kind of dominating, it's not the end of the world. And I'm sure Mike Reagan will break it down for them. But yeah, much needed response. A couple goals from Connor Miller. He's tied for the playoff lead with 5 goals now in the playoffs. And it's a situation too where the Bombers just continue to find a way to respond. You're never going to win every game. That's just not the way the world works. But they lost their first game in regulation at the Whitney Forum. They responded the right way. They didn't let it snowball on them. Now it's all to play for. And again, not a big surprise to me that this is a split.
Yeah, but I think Cody would never admit to this, Cody Mapes. But if you had told Cody, hey, you're going to come back to Weyburn with a split series, he would have been elated.
Absolutely.
The whole team would have been elated.
Well, that had to be the goal.
And like you said, I don't think that's discrediting Weyburn whatsoever.
No.
Again, given that they're a 5 seed, like you said, there's kind of this narrative that there's this underdog, and I don't necessarily see it that way either, Nugs. Yeah, no. The way Weyburn, the season went for them, they easily could have been the number 2 seed in this league, and I wouldn't have been shocked
I
at
would
all.
go so far, and I'm
they could
sure
have even
Yorkton
been number 1.
Battlefords people are going to be mad. They should have been the 2 seed.
Right, exactly.
They dropped the ball, and now they're the 5th seed.
They had a couple of weeks where they had a rough go, and other than that, you're right. Maybe they should be the 2 seed overall. You are what your standings
That's
were.
right, Bill Parcells.
So it is what it is. But like I said, 2 to 5 in our league were interchangeable.
Sure.
So I really do think Weyburn is easily a number 2 quality seed in this league.
Yeah.
So for them to win game 1 it's not that shocking, but boy, it got to feel good, especially coming back to Weyburn, where they've played good a lot this year, and they can win. They can win. They know they can win now.
Yeah.
At least a game, and they had to win one in the Whitney if they wanted to win anything or move on. They did that. That was mission accomplished, if you ask me. Now, job not finished.
No job's finished.
Job not finished. But no job's finished. It's 1-1, so it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's about
great job to bounce back.
Yeah, it was a great job and good performance too, not just a win.
Yeah,
but a
kind of a
performance.
statement dominant performance. Yeah.
And we talked to a university coach that we won't necessarily have to name, but we talked to him in Yorkton, and he basically half the conversation was how much he loves Will Munroe. So he wants Will Munroe to sign with him. We'll see where Will goes. I'm sure he's got lots of options. Guys like Josh Sale, Lucas Schmidt, the list goes on there. Josh Carman, all these guys. I'm sure both of these teams are being heavily scouted, being veteran teams, and that's why you're in the semifinals. Yeah,
exactly. So there you go. There's the Flin Flon Weyburn recap. Any final thoughts on that, Nugs, or should we move on to the other series?
Yeah, again, I'm not dumping the loss on Joey Rocha. I think again I've been hard on him. I can't speak for anybody else. My expectations are high. Again, won AAA championship, lots of Western League experience. He knows he's got to be better than he was in Game 2, and he will. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
There you go. Let's have a look at the schedule here as games 3 and 4 are back in Weyburn at the Whitecap Resources Center. We know game 5 will also be taking place. So Tuesday is game 3 tomorrow night. Wednesday, game 4. And then we know for a fact that they'll have to make the big long trip back to Flin Flon on Saturday, April 11th for Game 5. We don't know yet about Game 6 or 7, but those will take place, and this should say Monday and Wednesday on that graphic, just as a heads up. It should say Monday, April 13th, and Wednesday, April 15th. So just so you know there, but there we go. Okay, moving on to the Battlefords Yorkton series. Of course, it got kicked off in Yorkton, at the Westland Arena on Friday night with a 3-2 win. As you can see there, the Battlefords had a 2-0 lead all the way until the very waning moments of the second period, and then Yorkton got a goal from youngster Trey Peterson, who kicked things off for the comeback, Nugsy. So Friday, the Yorkton fans went home very happy.
Yeah, they did. Very kind of two mirror image games, games 1 and 2 in this series. Battleford started out on fire in this one, got a lead, and then Yorkton came back. The other game, Yorkton came out on fire, got a lead, and Battlefords came back. So very similar in completely opposite ways between games 1 and 2 between these two teams. And again, you talked about 2 to 5 being kind of interchangeable, and again, this series is going to keep speaking to that and just how even it is between these two teams. Josh Knittig, 15 points in his last 7 games. He's got points in every playoff game this year for Battlefords. That's pretty good, if you ask me. And again, it's a situation too where who's going to make that last save, right? Is it going to be Craig? Who's going to be Serpa/Micknick? It's 2 games in a row, and again, not blaming Serpa again either, because he was very good in this game, but 2 losses in a row in starts for Serpa. And then game 2, when we go forward, that was Spencer Micknick, who was terrific, and for Battlefords, who got the win in response to a tough loss. So interesting goaltending situation. I'm not saying there's a goaltender.
Well, Kelly Lewick in the comments on YouTube says goalie controversy.
I don't know if it's a controversy. They both have played pretty well. It's not like Serpa was bad in this game, but it seems like Micknick is the winner right now for Battlefords. So it's very interesting to see what happens.
He had such a good game on Saturday.
In Game 3. Yeah, he was wonderful. So there you can see the game winner. Before, I guess you saw it on your screen, Jye Zawatsky, little backhand ski, and I asked him, what was going on with the lines, because he was out there with Jake Briltz and somebody else, and he's like, yeah, just kind of a double shift. I guess a little gut feeling maybe from Emery Lawson. So there you go. Then Jye again scores, got goals in both of this series, just kind of snuck one in short side as well. We'll go right to the highlights. You see, Klippenstein and Knittig there. What a combo. Here's a power play goal. Just, I'm sure one that, again, Micknick would like back as he got over there and snuck through. But yeah, they move the puck so nicely on that Yorkton power play. That number 1 unit seems pretty locked in, and then they throw Bartha and Palin out as the pairing for their second unit, and it's a wonder how anybody stops the Yorkton power play. But that was a very entertaining game, Clark. I'll let you take this one away, but pretty fun game to watch.
It was great, and it was funny. We were standing right at the end there by the cement truck.
Yeah.
And first period seemed to be all on the other end.
It was all Yorkton.
It was mostly Yorkton. They scored, of course, on that end. Second period stayed in that end. And Nugsy, I made the joke to you midway through the second period. I'm like, I think Yorkton's ice is tilted so that you're skating downhill when you go that way and you're skating uphill when you go the other way. Because it seemed like everything was happening in that end. And then we sat up in the stands for the third period. And boy, did Battlefords come out. I'm not going to say they weren't desperate, but boy, they put the pedal to the metal.
Well, I just think there's a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
Just getting pucks deep, and you know about this Yorkton team, they'll transition you.
Yeah.
They love to get out in space too and do that, but it's and we talked about it in the preview, and it's played out exactly that way in this series. Even though there hasn't been as many goals, we're not like seeing 8-6 games or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's been quite the game where. Battlefords is okay with the puck being deep in their zone a little bit, and Yorkton, waiting for their transition moment, and Yorkton trying to cycle, using Tommy Reese to be that fourth guy who's, trying to add a fourth guy into the situation, or Palin or Bartha, whoever has license to fly out there. So the tactics, the way that the game models have gone in that series are exactly what we thought. And again, same with the Weyburn game, especially game 1. It was very heavy, very physical, and whatnot. But again, you flip such a coin. I mean, between these two teams, Clark, I don't know. I still don't know what to predict after 2 games, what to think.
No clue.
Because again, there was lots of times in game 1 where I'm like, man, it should be 2, 3, 4 nothing Yorkton right now.
Right.
And Spencer McNick was terrific. And again, we have that Playoff Warriors graphic. We can throw that up, I guess, now if you guys don't mind back there. I know we didn't really plan on that being this moment, but look at all those blocked shots for the Stars right there. Dick, Fisher, Coventry, they'll get on there. Obviously, Lincoln plays a lot. Again, we're not a big boy, but good positional, and then Dewar and Geisen. Guys just doing what it takes for Battlefords to be gritty and grimy and try to muck it up a little bit in the D zone, because they're going to be in the D zone a little bit more, and they have been in the D zone a little bit more. But again, that's the way Battlefords has played all year. They're not afraid of that, and it's been very interesting to watch. And so it's kind of turned out as we thought it would, Clark. And back to Battlefords, and both series, the road team are traveling today, so I hope everybody's safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, today of all days, of course, as we mentioned earlier. But yeah, you mentioned Battlefords doing those things that they need to do, and what a fitting way for that game to go with Finley Klippenstein getting those 2 goals earlier in the second period on the other end of the ice, because we were standing by that cement truck, like I said. There was a wide open net. Finley Klippenstein gets a pass in the slot, and he shot it, and it went off of a stick or a leg or something, and it fluttered 3 inches over the crossbar. And we were like, oh my God, Klippenstein was right there. That could have been their only chance. And then he comes out, scores 2 big ones in the third, gets an assist on the empty netter with Josh Knittig. Who, by the way, is running away with the scoring title right now. We'll get to that in a second. But wow, what a great game.
To your point about Klippenstein, I was messaging with somebody a little bit about, is there somebody in the league that needs fewer scoring chances to score?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he
than Finley Klippenstein.
Yeah.
You're like, wait.
He was 3 inches away from having a hat trick.
It could have been, He puts himself in good positions. He's bigger in person than I thought, too. He's a big boy. He moves well when he's skating hard. I know that sounds funny, but he's not the fastest guy in the world, we'll say. But he gets to where he's going, and when he gets a chance, the back of the net. Even if he got a little spear maybe at the end there from Tommy on the winner, but Tommy's gonna take a pound of flesh. Yeah, gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good game. Anyways, we'll leave it there. As we can tell or put up in the schedule now, games 3 and 4 go tomorrow and Wednesday, of course, in Battlefords at the Access Communications Center. Tuesday, game 3, Wednesday, game 4. We know for a fact game 5 will be back in Yorkton. And look at this, Monday and Wednesday, they got it fixed up. So thank you guys. 1 second. Monday and Wednesday next week will be game 6 in Battlefords, game 7 in Yorkton if necessary. All right, let's have a look. What's next? What do we want to do next? The crowds. Nugsy, the crowds have been fantastic.
Yeah.
We can attest for that. I know Commissioner Kyle was up in Flin Flon. We were in Yorkton for game 2. Kyle was in Flin Flon that night. Great crowds so far. And through 4 games, what's the results?
Yeah, let's put there you go, butts in the seats. Over 5,000 fans total in round 2, 4 games, by the way, for all these so far. Averaging 1250 is pretty awesome. Just thanks for coming out, everybody. It was rocking again in Yorkton. Rocking in Flin Flon both games, definitely louder in the second game. But that was just based on what was happening in the game, which is fair enough. But it was wild. The lines for concession in Yorkton was very, very long. The lines for everything, which is what you want, because they're making the bucks and whatever. And also, we talk about the whole, be a fan but not a fanatic or whatever. Everybody's been very well behaved, it seems, too. And the teams have been reinforcing that and doing a very classy job. So well done to the fans. Well done to the organizations for being organized and keeping it all on track. It's just been a great round 2 so far.
Great round 2 so far. Yeah. That picture gives a great representation of the crowd that was in Yorkton. Very full, all the seats, lots of standing room taken up. When we were walking Nugsy towards the concession in the first intermission on Saturday, it was like shoulder to shoulder getting through that concourse to get to the lobby. got this, got recognized and said hello to a few people, which was great.
You were all over the radio too.
Yeah, second intermission, I was on with Benny Walchuk, and then Ryan Lambert from Battlefords was like, "Hey, can you fill the last 6 minutes with me?" I'm like,
Clark Munroe, man of the people.
So anyways, shout out to Benny and Ryan, and shout out to Blake Friars as well. But they were all up there.
Mr. Mullet.
It was a crowded media box up there for sure, but not that bad. Always welcoming up there for sure, and great times. And I'm sure it'll be really good in Battlefords as well, going back there. And yeah, anyways, let's have a look at the scoring leaders, because like I said, Josh Knidig is putting his statement right now out there with 6 goals, leads the way for goals in the playoffs, 15 points. Anthony Campbell, his teammate, and Finley Klippenstein right there in the top 4 as well. Gabriel Corshane with 11 points so far through 8 games for him. Rylan Pierce with 10. He's been amazing, and he leads the league in hits as well throughout the playoffs. So what a performance he's put in.
He's been the best defenseman in the playoffs so far. Yeah.
Josh Sale with 9 points. Jye Zawatsky with 9 points. Alessio Nardelli, he looked really good on Saturday. 8 points. Didn't get a point, but he looked really good. Callis Pierce with a point per game with 8. And Gavin Bartha with 8 points as well for Yorkton.
Well, Josh Knidig has 8 points in his last 3 games. 4 goals like 4 goals over a 3-game goal streak too. I know this was an empty netter, but last one was an empty netter. It was an important one though. It was Yorkton pulled the goalie, and it was getting tight, and a couple, the ice was getting a little bit choppy, and a couple some bad bounces on the Yorkton D, but still, you got to take advantage. And Battlefords continues to block shots and be committed to those details, and that's a great credit to them.
I had to triple check every time somebody had the puck with Battlefords too, because they all right now have the exact same hairstyle. They all have the kind of hockey hair, bleached blonde, and I'm like, who was that? They all look the same. That's not a detriment.
And they got some long names. They got some long names.
Yeah, they all have long names. Williamson. And it's like, who was that? Oh, Klippenstein again. Okay, cool.
Except my new favorite Battlefords North Star. Do you remember who it is?
Shoot.
Cole Hines.
Yes, and yes, I don't know why.
Because he's celiac. Because we went to the coaches' room where the Battlefords coaches were, and Lammer said that they had a gluten-free whatever they were making for me, and not for me, it was for Hines, obviously. But they're like, "You can have one." I was like, "Great." He doesn't need it.
We didn't take advantage of that.
No,
we maybe should have.
But kudos to Owen Lamb again for cooking for the team.
Yeah,
on the road.
what a cool story there.
Awesome.
And Cole Hines. Shout out to Cole Hines. He's Nugsy's new favorite player on Battlefords. All right, let's have a look at the goalies. We still see Finn Warner at the top. He's only played that 1 game, of course, but it was a shutout in round 1 against Estevan. Charlie Tritt, of course, who else but Charlie Tritt, right up at the top with a 150 goals against, 4 wins in his 5 starts so far. Spencer Michnick has been fantastic when called upon for Battlefords with 2 wins right now, 155 goals against. Callum Craig has been a workhorse. He's, I think, played the most minutes. Him and Joey Rocha maybe the most minutes amongst goalies right now in the playoffs. Matthew Spencer Dahl, of course, he's eliminated, but he was so impressive and was all the season when he joined Melville. Nathan Cam is there still. Madden Walk is there still. Gage Roberts is there still. Dylan Adams is there still. Of course, those teams have all been eliminated, but still all very solid performances in round 1 when they were playing for their teams. We already did Playoff Warriors, so Nugsy, I think it's time for Nugs and Notes, and we have a special announcement. Do you want to call it an announcement, highlight of the year?
Oh yeah,
do you want to do that?
Can we get this? We need my guy dancing. There we go.
There we go. It's Nugs and Notes.
My girls don't sing that anymore. They used to sing
you got to just play it for them. They'll get it. Get it stuck in their head.
Got to remind them again. Yeah. All right, Nate Stevens, congratulations, Weyburn Red Wings goaltender. He is the Tourism Saskatchewan highlight of the year from his save in December on Warman's Corbin Allman. It was a good one, so let's check out the highlight.
His shot, kicked out, rebound is there. What a save! Oh my goodness! Can you believe that? Nate Stevens putting on the Superman cape.
Nice call, too, from Ryan Flaherty. So there you go. Congratulations to Nate Stevens. I thought maybe we'd see him at some point these playoffs, but Joey Roach has been good.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. Nugs and Notes beyond that. Regina Pat Canadians, congratulations. They won the TELUS West Regionals in Regina on Sunday. They beat Moose Jaw 5-1. A little bit of redemption because they lost 6-2 to Moose Jaw in the group stage of that tournament. They had to beat the Winnipeg Bruins, I guess in to make it to the finals even. And, I'm really proud of those Moose Jaw boys. I reached out to my boys, my buddies there, Stephen Warwick and Ryder Gilroy, just to congratulate them on a great year. And, I'm sure they're pretty heartbroken for the Moose Jaw kids. But the Patsies, move on to the TELUS Cup. TELUS Cup starts in Peterborough, April the 20th to the 26th. Our buddy Sean Mullen will have the call, Swift Current's finest. Him and Kamish, I guess, are tied being for Swift Current finest.
Yeah, careful.
Be careful there. One of them pays me and one of them doesn't. Anyways, April the 20th to the 26th in Peterborough.
I don't think Sean's from originally Swift Current.
No, he's from Ottawa.
So there you go.
He's from Ottawa. But Peterborough,
so
Ontario. Kyle does, well, he does win. That's right. Yorkton Terriers prospects Brady Vipond and Malin Wiley both scored in the championship game for Regina. Estevan Bruins prospect Adam Montaigne was in the net for Regina. Mentioned Stevie Warwick, who's a Warman Wolverines prospect, was in net for Moose Jaw. So there you go. They'll face the Okanagan Rockets, the Halifax Max, the Waterloo Wolves. Of course, I went to university in Waterloo, and the Wolves play at the Waterloo Rec Complex, where I spent a lot of time watching Laurier hockey. And the Peterborough Petes U18s, of course. The Quebec region is still ongoing. Lévis and Séminaire Saint-François are in the U18 AAA finals in Quebec. So there you go. The Patsies, all the best to you guys as you go off to face the world, or not the world, Canada, at the TELUS Cup. The U18 boys really proud of all those SJHL prospects,
yes.
Of course. Both Moose Jaw and them, just full of them. So it was kind of weird. Like I'm like, I want to highlight every SJHL prospect, but that's like both of their teams. The whole teams are guys who could be SJHLers very soon, and will be and have been this year too, and may at some point as we move on. Obviously, we saw Trey Peterson there for Yorkton, who is a really good Swift Current Legionnaire, talking about the AAA.
I still remember earlier this year, I got a text from a buddy of mine who's a big Pat C's guy, Hockey Regina guy, and he was like, "You think there's any chance the Pat C's are going to get Cash Lanigan back?" And I was like, sorry,
there
no.
you go. I'm pretty sure
too good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cash Lanigan's sister is the photographer for the Patsies.
Yep.
And obviously his younger brother is on the Patsies, so there's they're like, oh, it'd be nice if the brothers play together. But obviously, Cash would be maybe the best player in AAA. Ryan Gibbs, of course, what a wonderful year from Moose Jaw, and I'm sure Cody Mapes would love to see him in a Weyburn Red Wings jersey ASAP if they need him. So Ryan Gibbs is a very exciting player, so that'll be fun to see. But that all being said, congratulations, obviously, to Braden Burney, signed a PTO with the Abbotsford Canucks of the American Hockey League, the former Weyburn Red Wing, of course, and really, really proud to see him continue to climb that ladder.
Very cool.
And obviously a big power forward type. And Braden Vandenbilch, didn't mention it last time about the Kindersley Clippers. Forward, committed to Edmonton at Concordia in ACAC. So congratulations to Braden.
Great news.
There you go.
Great news. Yeah, thank you, Nugsy. Great news. And I'm sure over the next, I don't know what, week, 2 weeks, we're going to see a lot more trickling down of commitments to the U Sports level, the Div 1 level, hopefully maybe the Div 3 level for sure. There might be a couple. It's going to be keep your eyes open, because the announcements are starting to come more and more as the seasons kind of come to an end for certain teams, or different coaches get a week off or something, whatever it happens to be. They get some time to make some phone calls and finish up some contracts or whatever it happens to be. So now's the time of year where they start really coming in.
If you're concerned, why are there more commitments? They're coming.
They're coming. We've heard quite a few names. So just stay tuned. There's some stuff happening behind the scenes. All right. I don't think we have Jai logged in yet, Nugsy. If you want,
I got in touch with him.
You got in touch with him? Okay, so he'll be in shortly. So we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we'll have Jye Zawatsky of the Yorkton Terriers join us, talk to him about games 1 and 2 from his perspective, and get his thoughts on games 3 and 4 this week. Stay tuned.
The Price Beat Guarantee is back at Capital GMC in Regina. We will beat any price on any new vehicle from any competitor, or you get $500 cash guaranteed. The Price Beat Guarantee at Capital GMC in Regina.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Thanks, mister.
Every ticket you buy funds programs all across Saskatchewan, like sports. Buy your tickets today.
In the last decade, the construction industry has reduced injuries by 46%. That's as many injuries prevented that would fill several stadiums. Find out more at scsaonline.ca.
Feeling like your dreams are out of reach? RBC has programs and resources to help you open the door. With RBCX Music, RBC Training Ground, and RBC Scholarships, your idea of your highest potential happens here.
Original 16. Celebrate things done well.
All right, welcome back. Segment 2 of SJHL Weekly. Clark with Neugsy here, and I believe we're ready to go with Jye Zawatsky of the Yorkton Terriers. Jye, thanks for joining us today. Obviously, a big weekend for you guys, a really interesting 2 comeback games. One way, one the other way for you guys. Let's maybe start with Friday night, if you don't mind, sticking with Friday. You guys did the comeback and got the win in front of the home crowd. How did that game go for you guys?
Yeah, thanks for having me on today. Yeah, the game, we were down 2 to start with, and then we got a good spark from Horbaczewski there. He had a big fight, and then we just kind of built off of that. We had the belief the whole game that we could get her done, and thankfully we came back and won that game.
Yeah, and then Saturday night, me and Neugsy were in the building. You got the first goal of the night, but Battlefords really stormed back in the third. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously they're a great team, and you give them an inch and they'll take a mile. So I think we just gotta focus on playing a full 60 the next game here, and can't give them anything, because I think we did play really well in the first 50 minutes of that game, and then just kind of towards the end there, we had a couple blunders, and it was unfortunate for us in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Now, obviously, Jai, you're a Yorkton boy. Your family is deeply, ingrained in Yorkton minor hockey. Just big picture, talk about the turnaround that you've seen, from the Yorkton Terriers organization to where you are now. Fully expecting to go and win a championship and bring it back to Yorkton, but also the rink is packed,
yeah,
and the sponsors are flying in, and it's all positive. It wasn't that way, I don't need to tell you, a couple of years ago. What does that all mean to you?
Yeah, it means so much to me. Obviously that first year, the team it was just an unfortunate situation with the team, and I'm glad the community had our back, and of course we knew they were going to come through, and they did. So it's been a big jump from that first year to now. You see the building, it's packed. It's about 2,000 people there every night. So it's so much fun, and we love the community support, and everybody appreciates everything that's happened these last couple of years to turn it around.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously part of that is the quality of hockey, and the quality has been awesome, this year and into the playoffs. It's been really fun to watch. And part of that is I always look at little matchups within the game. Now, obviously, you and Anthony Campbell played a lot together, I feel like, at the Viking Cup. So now you're kind of staring him down at the other side of the ice. Are there little things that you maybe remember from the Viking Cup that you're like, you know what, if I see him down the road, maybe I need to remember that? Just talk about the matchups and facing some of those stars on Battlefords too. That what you want to see at this point in the season. 2 great teams going at it.
Yeah, Anthony Campbell's a great player, and I had a lot of fun playing with him at the Viking Cup. I don't know if I have a lot of dirt on him, if that's what you're trying to get to, but I'll definitely throw a couple chirps, and I learned a couple French words I probably can't say on here that I might tell him a little bit.
Nice. Jai, third full season with the Yorkton Terriers in the SJHL here. Obviously, your opportunity and your role has grown, but just you specifically, obviously, things really clicked this year. You doubled your career high in points, et cetera, et cetera. What for you as a player has changed and developed? Maybe what stands out, maybe a couple things over the course of your 3 seasons with the Yorkton Terriers.
Yeah, I think every player waits to get that opportunity to really show what they can do. And I think I've had that belief in myself since I started playing here. And obviously the coaching staff has given me a lot of leeway this year. And I've been very fortunate with Emery, PL, and Scotty there helping me along the way. And I think it was something I was just excited to get towards this year. I think being a big leader and a big role player on the team, I think it was something I was dreaming of. And I think once you get a little inch, you got to take that mile. So I think we just kind of ran away with it this year.
Yeah, you know, kind of to continue that point, Jai, like I think about you, and I was having a conversation about you with somebody a couple days ago, and we were talking about, you know, what I saw from you when you were a rookie versus now, and you always had that great speed. You're not being the biggest guy. You were never afraid to go to the hard areas. Like you had that kind of maybe Saskatchewan quality to you that doesn't mind someone cross-checking you in the chops if you bang a puck in the net. But one thing I did see you develop, and you can tell me if you think this is right or if something, you know, that you worked on, was I think you were more willing to slow yourself down and the game down a little bit. Would you say that's accurate? And do you think that's kind of helped you even generate more offense, that, you know, I don't need to go 1,000 miles an hour every time I'm skating. If I slow it down a bit, maybe things open up for me.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. You know, Emery's helped me out with it a lot this year. I always used to, try to be 100 miles an hour all the time. And I think the more you can slow down a game, like you see players like Kucherov and McDavid, like they're so fast when they want to, but if you can slow down the game, you almost make more room and you can be a better teammate towards your line mates as well.
One thing that I've noticed, Jai, off the ice, and this is going to take, we're going to stop talking about hockey for 25 seconds here, but one clip just popped up on my TikTok the other day, and I see the last name Zawatsky, and I'm like, oh, and it's a stand-up comedian. And he talks about being from Yorkton, so I'm assuming it's your brother. But can you, is it your brother, just to confirm that? I didn't ever get a confirmation.
Yeah, Jarvis is my brother there. He's a comedian. He's out in Calgary now. But he's my brother. Yeah,
he had a really funny joke about dating in Saskatchewan. I'm not going to steal his thunder, but if you want to go check it out, go check out Jarvis's account because it was really good. What's it like growing up with a stand-up comedian, funny brother like that?
Yeah, well, I try to get some of my comedic chops from him. He's great. He puts in a lot of work, so it's really easy to kind of take what he does and kind of just try to work as hard as I can at what I do, because he works so hard. And it's a tough field. I don't know a whole lot about it, but he makes me laugh, so I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, he made me laugh. I checked out a few of his videos. He does a great job. So pass along my congrats to him. Things seem to be going pretty good for him right now. And again, if you're watching the show and you're like, I got to check this out, definitely do it. I can't remember his exact account title, but Jarvis Zawatsky, if you go check it out, he's fantastic.
I want to talk to you, and speaking of being a stand-up comedian, because I think there seems like there's so much pressure about being a stand-up comedian, but like, how are you handling this moment, Jai? Like, you're 20, you're from Yorkton, and the building is packed, and you've been on the team for 1,000 years, and the expectations are sky high. You have this great team. How are you handling kind of the pressure of the moment, kind of staying grounded? Is there someone you're talking to? Are you doing meditation? Are you eating a certain cereal? Like, what are you doing to be able to perform? Because it seems like you're playing the best hockey like I've ever seen you play, and you obviously have a great career, but it seems like you've taken it even to another step right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think just growing up, you've always dreamed to be in these situations. So now that you're here, you just want to embrace it, take it all in. I don't know about the preparation, if it changes much, but try to stick to the same plan and kind of have the same preparation going in. And, like the fans, they're amazing. So like the energy comes from them, and we just love to build off of it. And I think you just got to get excited instead of nervous. So that's what we try to do.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one thing, Jai, obviously, we've talked a lot about your line this year. Obviously, 3 of the top players in the league points-wise on your line, which is always pretty cool. We've talked about your secondary scoring and some of the leaders on your roster, with Tylen Hendrickson having such a good role this year. Vinny Junek, what a great 20-year-old season he's had. On top of all of that, again, you being a local kid who kind of knows what it's like to play your first game in that building, Trey Peterson comes in and has a really great game 1 for you guys in round 2. But what do you, from your perspective now, because you're really old now, Jai. What's your perspective from a kid like that who has to come in and step in a moment like that, and then he stepped up on top of that?
Yeah, I think we all have high expectations for him because he's such a great player and such a great person off the ice. And I think, you know, like as an 18-year-old, when I came into the league, like it's a big step. And, you know, I know what he feels like when he gets in the league here, and he's just taken it and ran with it. Like, I can't believe how good of a player he is, like all over the ice, big body, skates really well. And, you know, he can finish and create plays. Like he was a big reason we won that first game there.
Yeah,
he had a great game.
Big move by Emery to kind of split up those lines to make room for him. Like that's a big show. All right, we're gonna do some rapid fire here, Jai. If you're cool with that, just ask you a few questions. You answer as quick as you can, as few words as you can, and have a little fun. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. What is your cooking specialty? What are you cooking for Mrs. Zawatsky?
Oh boy, we'll say spaghetti.
Okay, like a tomato sauce or?
No, you know, I keep it pretty simple. Maybe some butter, some salt on there.
You know, I like that better. I'm not a big tomato sauce guy.
Keep it simple. I love it.
I love that. Yeah. There you go.
You know what? Sometimes you overlook the simplicity.
Oh, I love a butter and whatever sauce, for sure.
I have 2 kids under the age of, well, I have a 13-year-old, but I also have a 7-year-old. Buttered noodles, if you can't do that right,
everybody
what are you
loves
doing?
Noodles, for
you
sure.
Know?
Yeah, all right. I always ask this question, and Clark laughs at me, but I don't care because I had such a great time. What was your favorite Viking Cup moment?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think that last game there when we came back, Tylen Hendrickson with a big goal at the end there to tie it up, and then Ethan Andrews with the finish in overtime.
There you go. And maybe like a couple times at that restaurant outside the hotel that your dad, what was that restaurant called? I forget.
You tell me.
Anyways, it was down the street. I forget. It's all good. BP's singing. That was fun too. All right, we're moving on. Who is the fastest skater on the Terriers? Because it seems like there's a real good competition of like if you guys had a fastest skater competition.
I gotta say myself.
Love that.
There you
go.
Who's
second? Who's
second?
Second? You know, Cale Johns and Thomas Reese are pretty quick, so I'd say up there. Those guys. And of course Shane as well.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Have you ever been on a team with a goalie that gets ready faster than Callum Craig?
No. I'll come in there after warm-ups and he'll have half his gear on already. I'm like, holy crap, we got an hour till the game.
And he's doing his little side to side.
Yeah.
Hey, he's stopping the puck, so who cares, right? So you obviously I think you maybe have billeted once in the last long number of years. Just stayed at home because you were on the Estevan AAAs there, but the rest of the time was Yorkton. So what is your least favorite chore? Because I'm guessing you did some chores in there.
Least favorite chore, probably shoveling the driveway, I'll have to say.
Yeah, there you go. Bad for the back. What chore do you not mind doing?
Not mind? I think laundry. Laundry's not too bad.
Nice. I'm with you there too. I don't mind that.
The struggles of laundry, I believe, are overrated.
Well, it depends on your house too, like what your house looks like as well.
Right.
But it's part of it. Fair enough. What is a cause? Like, is it like rescue dogs, or is it whatever, something like that is important to you that you care about?
Oh, like a fundraiser, like a charity
like
cause
charity or
fundraising?
fundraising, something like that.
I think the kids sports for kids there getting into sports. I know the Terriers, we do every goal we have a donation towards the kids sport, and I think that's really important just to get kids active and in the game.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, 2 more, Jai. Great answer there. That was a tough one. I put you on the spot, so thank you for bearing with me. You always bear with me, this guy. He's been in the SJHL for 15
He knows what
He's
to
been
do.
in the SJHL for 15 years. He knows all about it.
Every season there's a how to deal with Neugebauer course at the beginning
training.
of the season. Yeah,
It's not media training, it's Neugebauer training.
He's been through 3 of them.
Poor Jai, there you go. 2 more. What's your favorite Terriers jersey of all time?
Oh, Terriers jersey. That's a tough one.
There's been lots of good
talked
ones.
about this in the room. I really like our black ones this year. I also like our gray ones we had a few years ago as well.
Yeah, you guys have some great ones over there.
There you go.
I like them.
What was it when they won the RBC in 2014? I think I was on the ice there in Vernon, and Benny was still calling the games, and I was like, these are nice. I don't know where Saskatchewan or Yorkton is, but boy, do these jerseys look.
Yeah, back in the day when your Ontario elitism.
Yeah, we were a big deal from Toronto. Yorkton ended up winning, and we didn't. So there you go. All right, last question then for you, Jai. Really, really appreciate your time. Who is the class clown? Who's the funniest guy in that Yorkton room?
Gotta be Cormier. I'll say it 100 times. Gotta be Cormier.
Oh yeah. Is there anything that he does that you can share, or do we gotta keep it? He's an all-around.
He likes calling a lot of guys squids.
Fair
I don't
enough.
even know what that means, but he calls them squids.
All right, Mr. Squid. I mean, Jai. That's all good. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna add one to your rapid fire if you don't mind. Do you remember your first goal in the SJHL? You scored 52. Do you remember your first one?
I do. Like it was yesterday. We were playing Battleford. I think it was my 3rd game, and Aiden Knutson got the puck on the right side, and he chipped it behind the D-man, and I was on a partial break, and I went forehand backhand.
Nice. Do you remember who the goalie was?
The goalie?
Yeah.
I don't remember, unfortunately.
Joey Hocko. Remember Joey Hocko?
Oh, yeah.
Joey Hocko, yes.
Hocko.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. That's always fun to look back. Anyways, Jai, really appreciate your time today. I know you got 2 big games coming up, so we'll let you get back to it.
He's got to get on the bus.
You got to get on the bus pretty soon,
Yeah, we're going shortly here.
Yeah, like in an hour.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you get back to it. Have a safe bus drive, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much for having me on.
There we go. Jye Zawatsky, left winger for the Yorkton Terriers, who's there, like you said, they're hitting the bus.
Yeah.
And he's playing against the team he scored his first goal against.
Yeah,
that's kind of
he's got to beat Benny at some ping pong there at their hotel.
Oh yeah,
they got a great games room.
Big rec room there, I think, right? Yeah, in Battlefords. There you go. All right. Well, Nugsy, let's have a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll just wrap everything up, recap what's going on in the next couple of days, and get you ready for the action for games 3 and 4. See you after the break.
Feeling left out of can't-miss moments? RBC has programs and resources to help you open the door. RBC clients get access to concerts, Avion rewards, and exclusive benefits. Your idea of memorable moments happens here.
Each year, the SCSA issues over 10,000 training certificates to the construction professionals who build our province. That is the same population as Weyburn. Learn more at scsaonline.ca.
Every ticket you buy funds programs all across Saskatchewan, like arts and culture. Buy your tickets today.
Introducing SaskTel Student Saving Tips. Tip number 138. You could build your own pallet furniture.
So you're living on your own. You can save money by building furniture with pallets.
Or get Infinet 150 for only $50 a month with SaskTel Student Deals.
Original 16. Celebrate things done well.
All right, there, as you can see, Melfort Mustangs from last year hoisting the Cantera Seeds
Won't do
Cup.
it this year. We've got a new champion
New champion coming this year. And we're only, what, 3 weeks or so away, 4 weeks away from figuring out who's going to do it. So we're getting there. But, of course, we're just starting the second round now. Yeah. So let's have a look one more time at the upcoming schedules for this week. Of course, Tuesday night is all of our game threes, both of our game threes. Back in Weyburn at the Whitecap Resources Center, Flin Flon and Weyburn, they have a 1-1 series tie going into Game 3. And then at the Access Communications Center, Battlefords will host Yorkton. Again, their series also tied at 1-1. And then the very next night, no matter what happens, they're playing Game 4, Nugsy, Weyburn and Flin Flon, again in Weyburn, and Battlefords in Yorkton for Game 4. So there's your schedule for Games 3 and 4. Do we have possibly Saturday's schedule in there in the system? I don't know. We didn't ask for it before the show, but yeah, if you have it, throw it up there too, because we do know for sure that Game 5s will also be happening guaranteed. Yeah. And back, of course, at the top-ranked buildings, of course, Flin Flon will be hosting Weyburn. That's a 7:30 local time puck drop, of course, 6:30 Saskatchewan time, and then back in Yorkton, Battlefords will take on the Terriers for their Game 5. So there's the week ahead, Nugsy. 3 big games we know are going to be taking place with Game 5s guaranteed. What would you say the keys in each series are as we kind of wrap up the show today?
Yeah, I mean, I think Weyburn's got to get back to Game 1, and that's starting. I mean, I'm not saying to say that they didn't start on time in Game 2, just because Flin Flon came out absolutely like a house on fire. But Weyburn leaned on them and got in on the forecheck and hammered those D-men on Flin Flon. And even though they're monsters, they are monsters, but Weyburn doesn't care. They'll get back in there and, you know, don't make some friends there in the corners there in Weyburn. And that's when Weyburn's not their best, is being a little bit mean.
Yes.
And they were not so mean in Game 2, so they need to get back to that if you're Weyburn. If you're Flin Flon, again, start like you did Game 2, 3-0 before you can blink. And, you know they can do that when they have stretches where they're just unplayable. Yeah. So we've seen that from Flin Flon at home, especially. Time to prove that on the road. And one of the best hockey games that I've ever called / seen was Flin Flon and Weyburn this year. So should be fun. Get your tickets. Get in touch with Ryder. Get them now, because it's going to be super fun at the Whitecap Resources Center.
You know, a lot of people talk about the zoo in Flin Flon, the Whitney Forum, where everybody's right on top of you. It's the same way in Weyburn. And you know, the best way to get those Weyburn Red Wings fans pumped up, I've noticed, with about, I don't know, a lot of experience knowing how they get fired up, physicality. Yeah. That Weyburn crowd gets really into it really fast as soon as their team hits anybody. So that's the way I would say first shift, just go pound them.
On the other side of things, it's interesting, the start's so important in Battlefords. Both of these teams, again, talk about how they kind of fit like puzzles, the Yorkton and Battlefords team, in that Battlefords is such a tough team when they get a lead, but Yorkton has that confidence now that they can come back on them, which they did. Battlefords has the confidence, and they've been like that all year, of coming back. But it seems more important for Battlefords to get that quick start, even though they didn't in Game 2 and still won. But they need to take that momentum at home, get the crowd into it. Battlefords fans, you show up and you're a good fan base for sure, but you're a much better fan base when the team's doing well and you're getting into a little bit, you know, they can be a little quieter when it gets a little bit sketchy there in Battlefords. So,
Nugsy, you're going to be on the front door of the building.
Get started early, Battlefords fans. Get loud. Get excited. I know Jay Crockett will be pumping it up. They're the best PA guy in the league up in North Beautiful, and boy, oh boy, it'll be again two good Game 3s. I expect them to be fantastic, and we have not had a single UPL overtime winner. We've been to overtime 4 times in the playoffs, but nobody's guessed it.
Nobody's won the hat.
So make sure you pay attention on X when a team goes to overtime, because I expect there to be some overtimes here coming up here in Games 3 and 4 to get your guesses in who's going to win that, and then you can win yourself a hat. So do that UPL overtime challenge, do the hashtag on X, if it goes to overtime, and you have a chance to win a hat. So there you go.
Yep, there you go. So there's the upcoming schedule. There's our thoughts on the games. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media channels. We'll have you covered if you can't make it to the rink. But if you can, please do make it to the rink. The crowds have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And we know that now that these lower seeded rinks have a chance to put up some crowds in Weyburn and Battlefords, we know that they're going to come out hot. And Battlefords, if I could recommend something, take Nugsy's quote from just now. And it says, you tend to be a little quieter, I think is pretty much word for word what he just said. Put it right on your front door. A big cutout of Nugsy's face that says, you tend to be a little quieter.
Just trying to help.
And there you go. As the crowd walks in, they'll see it, and they'll be like, wait a minute, we're not quiet. Because
I've heard them very loud.
You've heard them loud.
Oh,
I've heard them loud in the past. Anyways, it's going to be a great time. Follow us on our social media channels and get your Flow Hockey subscription. And one more thank you to all of our sponsors. As we shut down the show today, Cantera Seeds, Canalta Hotels, Capital Automotive Group, SGEU, SAS Lotteries, UPL, Chevrolet, Great Western, SaskTel, RBC, Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association, and Batterstad. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Nugsy. Thank you to who's in the back today. We got Connor, we got Bryce, we got Jordan. Thank you to everybody back there. Steven's on the road. Steven's gone. So he's out for a little while. He's going to his hometown, right next door to you, your hometown, Nugsy. He'll be, where are they, in Hamilton?
Hamilton, yeah.
Hamilton,
He's from a suburb of Hamilton.
Yeah, but I think the curling that he's going to, because he's working a curling event, is just outside of Hamilton,
Is that
right? Dundas?
He's from Dundas.
Right, there you go. So there's where he's headed. So safe travels, Steven. It'll be a good time for him, I'm sure. He's got an interesting road ahead. And again, make sure you get out to your rinks. Like Nugsy said, contact your team, get it to the rink, buy a ticket, find your way into the building. So it's going to be a great, great time. And we'll talk to you again on Thursday. We have a SJHL Insider. We'll recap what happened for games 3 and 4 and set you up for game 5 on Saturday. And then obviously by then we'll know if there might be a game 6. So we'll let you know everything you need to know on Thursday. And we have a really interesting guest. I'm not going to say who, because it's a teaser. We're going to tease.
We're hoping.
We're hoping it's going to be the guest.
Huh?
We're teasing you. Very interesting guest on Thursday, hopefully. If not, we'll still have an interesting guest, but we'll find another one.
We're trying.
Yeah,
we're always trying.
It's going to be a good show.
You sure about that?
Yes, I am sure about that. It's going to be a great week. We'll see you on Thursday. Enjoy the hockey, everyone. Bye for now.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?